And we're back with our not regularly scheduled gaming. Instead, we've got Dyson Sphere Program. It came out today and I was interested to give it a go. So I'm just going to start this up now and see what it's like. I'm not going to lie, I don't have huge hopes for this game. It is from a much smaller company, a very small company, and they don't seem to have done something like this before, but you never know. So I'll give it a shot and see what it's like.
Welcome to the actual universe. You may find it's different from our homeland. Should you be able to adapt to the laws of physics in a short time, I am your advisor and will help you through this mission.
Okay, you're a weird-looking freaky robot. Dyson Sphere for... Never mind, I can actually move it already. Okay, they're doing a graphic show-off, which... Okay, I'm not against that. But a Dyson Sphere is basically building
Everything here is yours. As one of Cosmo and the pioneer of the Dyson Sphere Program, you will explore this cluster step by step. By using the resources here to construct the Dyson Sphere to provide energy...
You drive the space capsule to the planet. Which planet?
Starting from scratch. I have chosen a designated planet for you to start the mission, which has necessary resources for initial development. Now please drive the space capsule to the planet.
Okay. Why couldn't I not skip that? Is that it over there, or is it this one in front of us? Okay, so spacebar tilts up, and arrow tilts down.
Now you are about to reach the designated
I
planet.
really did not feel like I had much control there. Okay, looks like a mini Earth, tiny stuff, grand. Okay, let's land down and have a quick look. Oh yes, and a Dyson Sphere, for those of you who are unaware, is basically building a whole bunch of solar panels around the sun, like surrounding the entire sun in solar panels. Well, not quite, but it's close enough. Okay, Gundam Wing it is.
A lightweight industrial mecha with powerful functionality.
Okay.
You can use the arrow keys or right-click on the destination to control its movement. In this mission, you will manipulate Icarus to travel.
Yeah, that's all fine. Background was a Dyson Sphere Basic Operations Guide. We'll try Basics Operations Guide. WASD. Yep, that sounds pretty normal. Double click the space key to lift off, and then use WSD to control flying. Yeah, usual stuff.
To recycle.
No, I'm in. Damn it. Nope, doesn't allow me to take off. Never mind. Now try and recycle. Yeah, cool. Right click. Alright, so you just right click and let it go. You don't actually have to hold it.
You can use the same operation to collect resources, such as trees, gravel, etc.
Okay.
In the meantime, hold down shift and right click to give a series of commands.
Okay, magnet cover, ignites. Okay, hydrogen, iron, magnets, logs, fuel.
Click the inventory button.
Oh god, there's so many resources already.
To open the cabin to view them.
After several items recycling cabins, click on the E in the lower right hand corner of the screen to open the cabin to view them. Alright, got it. Okay, your E is your inventory. This is all pretty standard stuff. Let me skip this forward a bit till we get to the good bits. One interesting thing I find is you actually run out of power doing this. Like when we click on this, you can see the power going down. And then when we go away, our battery does seem to recharge slowly. Very slowly. Technology. Dyson Sphere Program. Okay, electromagnetism. That would seem like something we've already got, considering we've got spaceships, but I'll allow it. Okay, manual research. Double-click item to view recipe. So we need 10 electromagnetic coils to complete this research. To do that, we're going to need 10 of these magnetic coils, which is fine. Then we're also going to need 10 copper plate. Okay, this is sounding vaguely familiar. Use inventory items. Thank you very much. And then I presume it starts actually building them. So after a bit of fiddling about, it seems it doesn't automatically make things. Like in Factorio, you can automatically have things queued up in your inventory and it'll build them. Here, if you want to research something, it seems you have to actually manually produce the items required for the research. So to do that, you'd say, oh, we've completed electromagnetism. I didn't think I'd actually produced that many of them. Well, you'd basically grab one of these, and it requires one of these magnets to make, and some copper, and then I would queue them up here. But it seems it makes them 2 at a time. I thought I was only making 5. Never mind. Okay, so electromagnetism is complete, though we're going to need more iron if we want to make more electromagnets. Where do we actually find more iron? First, of course, we seem to have got the basics of mining up and running. There's also a Tesla tower for power transmission and wind turbines. So wind turbines for power, mining machines to do the mining, and then the Tesla tower to actually transmit that. Let's have a quick look and see how this works. I will admit, I am liking that day and night cycle. You can get just the perfect sunrise there. Anyway, I was about to build a mine. That was right. So, we were going to get one of these mining machines, and I'm thinking there's the ore to rotate, of course, which is pretty much standard issue with all these types of games nowadays. And what I want to do is basically get my hands on a lot of copper and iron to start with. So we'll place you right there. Alright, cool. Then there's iron over there. The reason we want copper and iron is both of those are required to make mining machines and the power machines. It seems you don't need coal or anything like that just yet. So let's just try putting a wind turbine right there. Oh, it seems like a little robot comes out of you and powers it.
You have established your first power grid.
Not all power has its power supply.
Facilities has its power supply area. Use the Tesla tower to extend the area of the power grid.
Not enough items. Right, well, that would be explained by not having enough iron. So we're going to have to start mining some of that. Okay, yeah, this seems very familiar. But turns out my mecha is about to run out of energy. So you go into the mecha panel and put in fuel into the chamber. So I'm thinking you can probably put in plant fuel and coal. If we stick in... Yep, that seems to work. Ah, it goes up far more rapidly. I don't think there's any other use for that stuff. Let's also throw in some coal, because we don't seem to have a use for that just yet. And, yeah, I was so hoping standing in the Tesla tower would do the energy, but no, it turns out you need coal and plant matter to power your giant robot, which, yep, you know what? That's fine. And let's get back to building ourselves some things. We want another one of these suckers that... Oh, come on, what am I missing? Probably coal, or copper, now that I think about it. Can we actually extract copper from this machine? I presume we can. Ah, yes. When you click on it, it brings up your inventory plus this mining machine up on the top, so you can actually extract the copper ore that way, and wow, that is so much faster than mining it manually. Alright, we need to get another one of those. Also, we need to upgrade our mecha so it moves a bit faster. Wow, this is so 5 frames per second. Oh, wow. To build one of these, you actually have to come in here and produce it. If you can't actually produce it from this menu in here. If you click on it, it won't manually create it for it. You have to go into production, replicate it, and then it will end up in your inventory, at which point you can place it. Alright, good to know. Just the little quirks of all these games. Nope, right about there, I'm thinking. Perfect. And then, yep, little robot comes along and builds it. Alright, now let's put some power together, shall we? With a bit of fiddling around here, we've managed to get one mining drill up over here, which you can actually access from quite a distance and pull the materials out of it. I also stuck a Tesla tower in the middle. I don't think we need this much power for both of them. This produces 300 kilowatts, and I'm not seeing an up and down it. Though these things do require... Oh, insufficient power supply? 71% efficiency. Right, so we do actually need to provide them more power, but right now, we're pulling more resources than we need. I'm thinking it's time we hit up the research screen. What do we got? Automatic metallurgy. Alright, I think I got it. This here allows you to smelt ores into usable ones. This here is basically research labs, allow you to automate research. And this here seems to be a basic assembler for producing things. I'm thinking we'll grab this one first. All we need is 10 electronic circuit boards and 10 magnetic coils. Of course, to get all of those, we'll have to go back out here and manually create them, which shouldn't be that hard, I'm thinking. We've got enough resources now that putting together, what, 10 of these? Yeah, we'll just hit produce, that's already set to 5. And that should start knocking those out over there. Then we're going to need those circuit boards. What does that take? Just iron plate, copper. That should also be a dot. It produces 2 at a time. We need 10, so set that to 5. Done, queue that up. Okay. This seems disturbingly simple. We're just about done. All of them are done. We're manually researching everything we can. Alright, once we knock out these 3, I'll just skip it ahead. We'll knock out those 3 and see how it goes. Or well, when I say those 3, I mean these 3 technologies. We're going to get metallurgy, electronic matrices, and basic assembly. Well, while I was just messing around throwing down some power, it turns out there was a few things I probably should have been looking at more aggressively, namely being the science. Turns out all the transport belts were hidden up here. I was wondering where they were. So you get transport belts, you get your sorters, and you get your storage containers up there, which is good. We need all of those. And I think I figured out how the research tree works as well. Once you get metallurgy, basic assembly processes, and basic logistic systems, and this one, all of the technologies after that require these special electromagnetic matrices. So basically you have to produce these sciences, and that allows you to, well, produce these matrices, and that allows you to get science.
Conveyor belt,
yeah, perfect, we got it.
Automation now.
Thank you kindly, and why won't you go away? Oh, there we go. Right, so everything else, yeah, we're going to need those special little matrices, so we're going to have to invest in those. I think we can get this, we'll get ourselves to a little bit of automation in a wee bit. After doing a bit of playing around, I've come up with, well, I figured out some of the basics of automation anyway. All of these miners appear to have a transport belt exit at the rear, so you just sort of click on it, and then you can stretch this out and use it for all sorts of things. But all we want to do is, we just want to store the output for now. For that, we use these little storage containers. Storage container Mark 1, we'll just chuck one here right at the edge. Now, the way the storage containers work is they can just store things, but you have to have something to feed them into it. So for that, we've got these things called sorters. Now, I thought sorters would not before this. It took me a while to figure it out, but it turns out you just drag the sorters from the belt to the actual storage, and then what happens is they just start feeding into it. Of course, you'd need to get it in range of the power first. A quick Tesla tower right there should solve that problem. And then, boom. Yeah, so all the stone starts getting fed in there. From what I can see, 2 inserters can keep up with 1 mine. It's just I put in 3 because we're a little bit behind at the moment. And then you can see here it starts getting stored in here. And we'll just grab a bunch of that rock because we're probably needed for something. We've done the same thing over here with the iron ore. You can see it working flat out. Whole thing is just getting sucked up in there, and that gives us a nice big stockpile of raw resources. Of course, that doesn't really help us too much. We want to do some automation. So it's time to get into the other areas of production, namely the assembly machines, the smelters, and where do we put science? Here we are, the matrix labs. So we're going to need to get a bunch of stuff into one of these. Let me think for a minute. This is the research lab, and you quiet, go away.
Are the source code.
Okay, so this here, it seems, is what you use to get research. All we need is some electromagnets and some green circuit boards. So all we have to do... Oh, it can actually produce those itself. No. We don't want it to produce them. We want it to produce just science. What the hell? Okay. Oh, and the locked ones are extra sciences as well. So this area seems to use the science or burn it or research it. This area here, this is matrix mode, which turns the electromagnetic coils and the circuit boards into electronic matrices. Then if we revert it back, we can actually have this one. This actually is the lab, which burns them. I don't know if we can do both at the same time. I suppose I'll have to find out. So what we need to do is make an assembly line. Let's just find a nice big open space. Wow. Yeah, these planets are going to be a bit strapped for space. I think we'll make it over here. We can demolish those trees. They're in the way. Actually, let me have a little bit of an explore and see what we're going to do. Having a quick look through the research, there is a whole second research tree. There's the technologies ones, which seems to be for all production. And then there's this upgrades tree, which seems to be for your actual mecha itself. So here, we've got the option to do universe exploration, which I like the look of, able to view the veins distribution on the planet. I would like to be able to see where all the veins distribution is on the planet, so we're going to manually craft some of these. We're going to do some filthy pocket crafting, basically, to get our hands on some basic science, and then we're going to select our location for our factory. So with that research complete, we can now have a nice overview of the planet.
In the planet view mode, slide the mouse wheel to enter the star map mode.
There's a lot of resources on this planet. There looks like a nice wide open area with nothing on it, though. No, that's it, a little bit too far away. I've cleared out a bit of an area here. Let's make ourselves a little bit of a mini factory, at least to start. I want to see what this game has to offer. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to do this backwards. Well, at least to start. We're going to put in the matrix lab at the end. That is going to require those magnets and the circuit boards. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put the assembler machines before it. Just randomly. We'll make this cleaner later. And then we'll see what they need to produce those resources. To select the recipes on this, you basically just click on the building, and then you can come up here and grab the recipe you want. In this case, we've got circuit boards on this side, and we've got magnetic coils on this side. And once you've got those selected, all we need to know on this end is we need iron ingots and copper ingots. And this is going to be a very, very simple setup. So we're going to have a smelter here to produce iron and copper. Actually, what does this require? This requires copper and magnets require iron ore. Let's put down another assembler over here, let's say. And these are... Oh god, I should probably align them differently. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. We're going to do it in a weird, horrible grid pattern where it's actually all done diagonally, and it will drive everyone crazy. It'll be perfect. Alright, so over here we're going to have to put in... Oh, what? I can't do that component? How do I do the... this thing. Magnetic coils. Perfect. But no. I need a magnet. Magnet needs ore. So do I smelt those? Oh, I must have to smelt them. Never mind, we will deconstruct this, and then we'll go straight into the smelting section. Yes, these smelters here, the smelters can make these magnets. I did not see that coming. Fine, so we got the magnets. The magnets are going to go in here, but we're also going to need the copper, so let's just... Oh, how many smelters are we going to need? I don't think we got enough. Yet we're still going to stick with this horrible grid pattern design. Why not? Why not? So you are going to make our copper plate. Perfect. And that can all feed in there. Then over here we're going to need 1 iron, 1 copper, which means we need 2 more of these. And of course we'll put them down in the same horrible fashion like that. Select the recipes. So, oh, actually, what are the... one moment. Alright, we'll have the iron go on this side, copper go on that side. Then we better sort out some transport belts. This is going to be a very ugly setup, at least to start. You know what? I take it back. No, I can't live with the transport belts that way. We're going to have to move this all over here to the left so we can put it in straight lines. Otherwise, it's just going to drive me crazy. So this is what it's going to look like. Well, okay, that should probably not be copper. That should be iron, but that can be fixed. Yeah. Fairly straightforward. You know what? I probably shouldn't do that. I should have the copper on the other end. Yeah, that's better. That way it should be easier to rotate them through. I'll just bring copper up the middle and feed it into those two. But one thing you can do, which I quite like, is there's direct insertion. We can click on this building, drag it across to there, and boom. Using one of these sorters. It seems the sorters are basically inserters slash whatever you want them to be. And nope, that does not work. Alright, we just had to move them around a bit. It seems the ground is a little bit finicky, but not enough items. What? Oh, damn it. Alright, there we go. Direct insertion, done. You just have to be changed to iron again because I accidentally copied the wrong one. Perfect. So those will all feed into those, which should make the basic components we need. Then we just got to feed them into that. But I think we'll just start off with the basic resources first. We're going to have to get copper ore and iron ore over to that section. That's going to require running some transport belts. And I'm thinking this transport belt here has already got the iron ore in it. Let's just run it along. I think it'll just be a case of... yeah. Oh, no, right about there. Let me think for a moment. We're probably going to want to have this split off. Can we actually split this off? There we go. It seems to be right in the middle, so we'll just grab that there. Bring that all the way across to there. And that should be it. And it'll take our robots a little time, it seems. You know, we're going to need to upgrade those robots, aren't we? This is... oh, come on. Seriously? It's going to take me this long to lay transport belt? You better have some really good upgrades in store for me, game. Alright, that's the iron ore flowing. Then all we gotta do is put on something to feed that into the machine. Done. And then we have one over this end to feed into this machine. Done. And, oh yes, power. There's a great thing here, you can actually turn off the warning lights. It just makes it easier so you can see what's going on. Oh, that's just such a nice little quality of life thing. But I think we'll hold off on powering this up just until we get a few more bits and bobs in place. Let me grab the copper. Well, we've put the copper just beside it, but what you should be able to do here... yep. We're actually able to stretch those over quite a long distance, so we're able to pull them in from further away. Nice. We might have to actually double down on the amount going into those. I'm not sure. Now it's just a case of we need to output these to transport belts and get them into here. I maybe have not... or... actually, you know what? We'll just take the whole matrix building right here. And it turns out you can just move those things. No bother whatsoever. We'll grab that there. You can go right there. Yep, thank you kindly. At the same point, we just grab these from each side, feed them in. A little bit of direct insertion. Done. Now all we've got to do is power this sucker up. We have a few Tesla towers here. We'll just put one about there, put another one right there, I think. Yeah, that should be plenty. And then the power should flow. Okay, is it actually working though is the question. Oh, sorry, one of them's out of power. Well, I was just out by a space. Alright, they're all powered. Excellent. Now, let's see if they actually produce anything. You, how are you doing? You're producing. Nice. How are you doing? Yeah, I think these are maybe a little bit slower. I'm going to have to work on percentages later. But let's see if we're actually getting science in here. No, we are not getting science in there because I am a dumpcoff. I should have realized I've got to actually create the science first. So we got to change the recipe in here to... where is it? Where is this science fraction? Oh, I was just thinking the assembly machine could make it. Okay, the assembly machine can't make it. Which means we do have to use the science labs. Let me play around with this just a little bit more. I was just about to build a second science lab beside it, and it turns out this snaps above it. I think you can place these on top of each other. That is... would also explain the... can I do that with some of these other things, I wonder? Okay, can't do it with the miners, can't do it with the assembly machines, or well, not the smelters and assembly machines. Alright, so we have the bottom one produce a... oh, no active matrix selected. We have the bottom one produce the actual science packs themselves. And then we have the one above it damn it, they're both the same. Alright, bit of a fiddling about, and you can see this is now actively producing matrices. Electromagnetic matrices. Matrixes? Matrix. Oh yeah, so the electromagnetic matrix are being fed by these two suckers, which then feed into our matrix lab, and now we can start doing some more research. And let's just grab a quick technology. Smelting purification, what does this even give it? You know what, we're just going to activate it and see if it works. Don't use inventory or items. And, we can see that actually fizzling away. There we go. So, we've automated basic research. Now I gotta go through and figure out where the bottlenecks are. And it's definitely not raw resources. We can probably crank up the efficiency on this quite a bit if we want to. While trying to iron out the bottlenecks on this, a few things to take care of on the side is we're going to get some research in here. One is improved, +1 to construction drones, and another one is improved drone engines. I would really like to get my hands on a mechanical frame, but for that we need electric motors. So, electric motors, where do we find those? Well, what do you know, here they are down the very bottom of the tech tree under electromagnetic drives. We'll enqueue that. I like the way you can just queue up the researchers and they go one after the other. So, once all three of those are done, we can do a little bit of playing around there, but we still have to finish off this. Just to cover up some of the ratios on this, because I don't know if these will change. They probably will. This is still a very new game. The iron is smelted at 1 per second, so you can just hover over here and it shows you copper ore to copper plate is 1 second. Same with the iron. It's all 1 second as well. In fact, all the recipes seem to be, well, the majority seem to be 1 second so far. So to make one of these takes 1 second, but it produces 2 circuit boards. However, it requires 2 iron, so I had to set up a second iron, so it's 2 iron and 1 copper to 1 assembler. Over here, it's actually 2 of these, whatever you call them, magnets, 2 magnets and 1 copper plate to make the magnetic coil. That means we get 1 per second out of each of those. Well, actually, this one only produces 1 per second. Damn it. No, it produces 2 of them at a rate of 1 per second. It produces 2 of them per second. Now, if we go in here, you'll see this place is just, well, it's chock full of stuff. Namely because its production rate is 3 seconds. We're going to need to build a bunch more science labs on top of this just to keep up with it. So, well, I mean, if it's producing 2 each per second and we only consume 1 every 3 seconds, we're going to need 6 science labs stacked on top of each other to take full advantage of what we've got coming in. Yeah, so let's make a bunch of science labs, shall we? After dumping down a bunch of extra power and stacking up a few more science facilities on top of each other, I think we've definitely improved production quite a bit. We even had to... oh, there goes the electromagnetic drive. We even had to increase the amount of inserters. Oh wait, what are they called? I need to start using the correct name. Sorters. We had to use even more sorters to keep resources flowing. Now let's see what kind of other research we can get into. Well, improved logistics systems seems like a no-brainer. Anything that helps us do more logistics is better, and oh, there's the next colored science. There's the red science. Right, so what other sciences can we knock out? Steel smelting? Yes, please. Titanium smelting? No, we can't take that. Environmental modification? What the hell is that? Surface leveling tool. Yes. Okay. Right, that terraforming. Basically terraforming so we can flatten out some spaces. We'll queue you up as well. Why not? Crystal smelting? Nope. Too far. Solar collection. Solar panels? Yes. No, we can't go that far. Semiconductor materials. We'll take them. Why not? Allows us to do a bunch of other stuff. Thermal power. So coal power plants. Yeah, it needs a fuel, so maybe wood either, I'm not sure. Deuterium fabrication might be a little bit beyond us. Fluid storage, we'll take it. High efficiency plasma. Wireless power towers? Plasma exciter? What? This seems really low down on the tech tree, especially because it costs 50. Plasma extracting refining. My queue is full. That's fine. I think our science is actually going at speed. You're doing 60 hashes per second. You're doing 60 hashes per second. Are you all flat out? You know what? I think we're going to need to make some more science facilities. We'll stick another one. How many? Oh, come on. You only stick 3? Fine, fine. We'll see if we can, if another one over here works out. What rate are you doing it at? Yeah, well, that should hopefully fly us through the early research. We want to knock out some of the early stuff because this was just, well, this was the early crude setup. We're going to need to make it an assembly line and a proper main bus and a few other bits and bobs. I've been letting the research steam ahead there, which has been fine. Oh, and one thing we do, we're going to use items from inventory there. One thing I really wanted to get the research done on was these mechanical frames, which will increase movement speed. This should hopefully improve the mecha from, oh my god, you're so slow. Like, this is real time. This is how fast you can move. That is painful. Oh god, that's so bad. But on the bright side, I think we're going to be able to hammer that out. I had to manually pocket craft a whole bunch of those motors, but we got more than enough to knock it out. At the same time, this does actually work pretty well. We just need to expand it. The speed's about to kick in. Let's see how much faster they go. Come on, come on, come on. That's it. Okay, well, it's something, I suppose. Oh God. Yeah, I'm not going to enjoy this slow movement speed, not one bit. If we check under here, what's under upgrades? I think we can go to the next one, but that's going to require red science. Ugh, great. You know, that's probably going to be one of the first things I get, unless there's flight. Oh wait, yeah, we want to get flight as well. This is all sorted. Well, it is not the cleanest, and it definitely needs an awful lot of work. We need to put together a main bus. We need to start doing a bunch of these standard issue things you want to do with bases like this or games like this. But for the time being, I'm reasonably happy with us knocking out just the basic research. Apologies, this is going to slide my whole schedule of games sideways for a bit. I'll get back to normal Monday, but yeah, I'm going to binge this for a while. It's definitely got a few things that are very binge-worthy, and I want to have a look through it. Whether or not it's worth playing, I have no idea. I just want to see what it's like. Oh, and yes, I'm not sponsored or anything. I just saw this and really wanted to play it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and good luck.